Hello, my name is Enternalsin. I have moved from that room to this room. I'm currently in a new room with the same kind of setup. My microphone is closer to my face, therefore I'm needing to test it out to make sure that the microphone actually sounds fine in the first place. As you can see right now, this is the test. Hopefully it sounds better than before. I found a website right now that I'm currently on, and it is actually a free story reading bit. It just goes off a couple of your words, and it's an AI generation which actually just works out a story, I guess. From what I've used a little bit of it, it was quite interesting as to what I've seen so far. By a little bit, I mean over half. It was quite interesting what I've seen so far. As you can see, there are some advanced settings. So let's have a quick squiz at this. I'll go into desktop now and we'll have a look. So I get to type some words in here and it reads me a story. Let's find out what it is as follows. We were dead by daylight. 200-word story. That is really short. I've seen essays 10 times the size of that. Let's click the button and see what happens. We were dead by daylight. After 10:30 p.m, we've had enough. Mum and I would go to dinner and then come back to bed and try to sleep. I woke Mum up at 11 p.m. I'm going to bed. I'm going to bed. I know, she said, nodding. I'll see you in the morning. Bye. I went into my room. Mum was sitting up in bed reading. She looked so small. Am I really stalking my mum right now? She looked so small. The hospital had knocked her flat. She had to rest to be able to get up. That's how it works. I'm hungry, she said, grabbing a fistful of blankets. Snackies. I went downstairs, got some milk and a banana even though I was sleeping, and ran back up to the bedroom. She ate it with a glass of milk and handed me the empty carton. Glass of milk, empty carton. I'm going back to sleep now. You go to school and make me proud. What, now or tomorrow? And don't count on it, I say. I never wanted anything more in my life. The quiet, the dark, the darkness. There was no light in my house. There was no one around except for Mum. Even thought about me. Oh, my mum didn't think about me. Or even if they did, they didn't care. Wow, that's depressing. What time is it? It's 5. Holy fuck, it was 11 o'clock. I went back downstairs and stood out on the porch in the cold wind and completely forgot about school. Everything was quiet. I could see a few lights, but no cars, no people. It was so dark, even though it was... What? What's the time right now? I don't even know what the fuck's going on. It was 5 a.m, never mind. It was so dark as if I had forgotten to turn out the light in my room. I walked down the path to the mailbox. I walked back up to my house. My mum was still in bed under the blanket, the handful of blankets, as a matter of fact. I don't want to talk about it, she says. I lay down next to her. We just lay there for a while. I need to know the rest of this story. For a while. Finally, I said, it's early. School's not until 7, it being 5 a.m. right now. Okay, she said, sighing. I turned onto my side and put my arm around her. I knew I'd never get to sleep now, but it didn't matter. I just wanted to be close to her. Finally, she put her hand over my mouth and turned... Okay. Why did this turn to incest? We're just going to click stop and we'll try a different one. Oh my god. Let's go for another one. Oh, we'll do a vampire story. There was a vampire. 1,000. There was a vampire. I found it disgusting. What's the matter? She asked. Oh no, I said, shivering. That's okay. I could see the blood was running down the front of her shirt. What happened? I asked. Just some foolish fight that I was in. And she flashed me another grin. Even though she didn't flash me one in the first place. Don't worry, it's over. It would have been much worse if I hadn't stopped it. stopped it. I wanted to ask why it was her fighting a vampire. They usually don't pay attention to little girls. But you have a vampire on the loose, I said, not sure why I was bothering. But I did. It's always better to be careful. I didn't have any other choice, she said, dropping my hand. She started walking and I fell in beside her. I'm in the youth corps. I'm one of the instructors. I have to watch out for those sorts of things. It's what I'm training to do. She's a vampire fighter? Cool. We arrived at the centre and my mum started her usual, excuse me, my darling, routine, but Sarah cut in quickly. I normally say Sarah, but for some reason I said Sarah, I don't know why, and thanked her politely. I stood back and watched them. My mum, I'm interested in this story, was almost overflowing with gratitude. As soon as Sarah left, she turned to me, beaming. You were right, she says. She adores you. I shrugged. Sarah had to leave to meet her friend who would take her back to the city, and my mum rushed to finish her tour and thank everyone else. She stopped and looked at me once. Don't forget to eat, she said. Go to the cafeteria. I shook my head. I was not hungry. I don't have any sense of taste anymore. Go, she said, pushing me gently towards the cafeteria. Sarah has a lot of homework tonight. It's been kind of difficult, so she'll appreciate it. Yes, ma'am, I muttered, and went off to go find a seat in the cafeteria. Sarah had a seat saved for her near the door. She looked up as I approached. A smile on her face. I'm fucking in. We're not single anymore. Good. I've got your coat, she says as I sat down. She took it from me and laid it over the back of her chair. Don't have any breakfast, she asked. There's not much point, I said. I'm kind of numb. I'm... We're out of free characters. F to pay respects. And that's the end of the video. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Have a lovely night. See you tomorrow. For Raft. Be there or be square. Do you know why? Because you're not around.